Hey everyone, let's go right now and download Anchor to start your podcast. If you want to talk about video games, if you want to talk about knowledge and your books, whatever you want, go right to Anchor and download and start your podcast and start making money off of things that you want to talk about. Everything, nothing's off limits. Let's go right now and start making money for just speaking what you love. Blessings.
Hey everyone, I'm here with the young black author of the book Mo, Mind of Legacy Escapes, also owning his own book publishing company. Legacy, what's your inspiration? How do you get your inspiration for your book?
I get my inspiration from pressure, and my mother, pushing me to be the best that I can be.
And honestly, how do you handle writer's block?
With a lot of music. I listen to a lot of music. Most of the things that I speak on reflects in my music playlist, so it'll bring the picture back to my mind, even if I'm in a rough spot with writing, and just my surroundings. My surroundings give me a bunch of things to speak on. I can really never run out of things to speak on because of the surroundings that we are,
So music is basically a part of your biggest escape.
A big part.
What advice would you give to a new writer, someone just starting out? I mean, with you owning a publishing company, what would be your advice?
I would tell them that don't let nothing fog your judgment on your writing. Never let nobody's opinion stop you from chasing this dream. And don't let the money make you change up how you write and how you try to get to the world, because as soon as you let money fog your judgment, a lot of stuff can fall out of place. You have to never ever let that affect you. You have to think about who you're trying to connect with, the world that you're trying to connect with, not with who's gonna buy it or how many sales I'm gonna go on. You have to think about your message that you're trying to give out, nothing else.
And what is the most difficult part about writing for you?
The most difficult part about writing is trying not to repeat myself, and just trying not to be like, I don't want to preach. I don't want to be like one of them people that preach to somebody and they feel like, oh my God, he thinks he knows everything. I don't know everything. I'm still learning every day as I go on, so I never want my readers to think I know everything, because I don't.
I feel you.
I just want to speak on what I know, on the experiences that I've seen and stuff that I know is really happening in our crazy world right now.
And Legacy, are there any secrets from the book, that you can share with your readers?
Okay, the day of the book dropping, I didn't even know I was going to drop a book. Honestly, I didn't know that I was going to drop Mo. My mother, we was in the room. I was stressing about this pandemic. I was stressing about not being able to work. And my mother, she kind of yelled at me. She kind of cursed at me a little bit. She told me, listen, you sitting here, you've been writing since you was 12. Why are you not selling it? And I thought to myself, I'm like, I don't know, I'm thinking she bugging, right? Honestly, I'm thinking, I don't think I could do it. But she told me, boy, go get a book situated. I know you got something, So that yelling and that cursing really pushed me to drop Mo. It was nobody, it was nothing else
So basically, she tells you straight up, even though you might not like how she tells you.
Oh, the way she's talk.
But she told you basically,
when it come to business, she gonna talk to me like real. She gonna speak the real to me. She not gonna sugarcoat with me, because I have to be ready for the world. I have to be ready for the business world. I have to be ready for no's. I have to be ready for yeses, and I have to react to them in a certain way. So she prepares me for all of that.
And what's the key theme and or message in this book, Mo?
The key of Mole is really escaping,
Mm.
using your art as escape. That's the main focus. And it can be, it doesn't even have to be writing. It can be drawing. It could be painting. It could be just you just screaming out stuff that people don't even understand. Your music isn't a message in itself and an escape in itself. But people don't understand that, Some people cry with their music. They don't even cry with tears. They cry with music. I cry with my writing. If I'm going through something, the first thing I do is pick up my phone and hit my memo and start, going crazy. So most of the time, that's the only escape you know.
So you pretty much let your fingers do the talking on what's in your soul.
Definitely, 100%.
Uh-huh. And what's the significance of the title, Mole, Mole?
Okay, I call myself Legacy, and every part of that book came from me trying to escape pain, me trying to escape the crazy world that we live in, me trying to stay alive in the world that we live in, with all these police brutality situations, with all the unpredictable situations that can happen to you just walking to the store. You have to escape that, So my escape from all the craziness that was going on around me ever since I was 12 was writing. So that's why this is the first book I've ever, put out to the world.
Understood. And tell us about the process for coming up with the cover of your book.
The cover of my book is probably the most powerful thing. It literally tells you everything that you're going to find in the book. It's a figure. It shows the escape. People use liquor as an escape. That's why you see a Ciroc bottle on the cover. That people use protection, the metal, the gun, as an escape. Some people have to kill somebody to get out of that situation. That's an escape. Don't look at that man as a murderer. Don't look at that man as he's crazy or he's a monster. Look at that man as a father that wants to make it home to his kids. Look at that man as a young kid that his mother hugged him and wants him to make it home tonight. So, the only thing he can think of is, let me grab this gun real quick. And sometimes all that pain and all that craziness that he goes through in the day, he has to end it with a bottle of Ciroc. He has to end it with a bottle of Henny. And the last thing he does is pray to God for him to forgive him for his sins that he did that day. For them 24 hours of sins that he did, he wasn't comfortable with it. But at the end of the night, he spoke to God. He had a conversation with God. God, please protect me tomorrow. Please forgive me for everything that I did today that made sure that I made it home tonight.
And all those things that's surrounding children today is what's on the cover of your book.
That's why it's a child. That's why it's a child. It's not a because you got to think about it. You're grown up in this thing. You're raised in this situation. You don't have no choice. In this world, you don't have a choice what you're raised in. So that's why it's a child. It's not a grown up. I could have picked a grown up, but you got to think about the levels of the life that you live. You start out as a kid. I started out as a kid, and seeing these crazy things that I didn't even understand at that point in time.
Like you couldn't walk down a certain block because maybe a friend of yours or one of your brothers got into a problem and you couldn't go down that route that day because you could run into some sort of beef, right?
Oh, that's 100% true.
And what were the key challenges you faced when writing this book, Mo?
The challenges I've looked at, mostly just trying to translate pain, because you have to go into a whole different mind state to speak on these type of situations. Yeah. You have to think like them people. You can't be happy, and I'm a very happy person, but you can't be in a happy state when you're speaking on all these painful situations. Like, for example, you got to think about the thoughts that was going through Trayvon Martin's mind when he was just walking home with some Skittles.
Exactly.
And that was his last walk. That was his last, Dad, I'm going to be back. That was his last, I love you, Ma. That was his mother last time saying, I love you, I'm going to see you later. He thought he was just going to get something to drink and a bag of Skittles. He never thought that the man Zimmerman was going to take his life that day. He never knew that was his last day living. So for you to think that that's the risk that you're taking just walking to the store, who knows what you're going to walk into when you walk outside today?
Understood. And what exactly was a highlight of writing this book? What do you feel was the greatest highlight?
The greatest highlight is I Let Swizzy Down. That's the most important poem of the whole book. The book was made off of that, because my Uncle Swizzy, God rest his soul, rest in peace to that king, he was the reason why I got into this world that I'm living in. This writing world that's so deep to my heart, he's the reason why. He pushed me to go into this world and find an escape in this world. So I try to keep his name alive every day, and I will never stop keeping his name alive.
And that was part of your motivation?
Definitely.
To the book?
100%, yes.
I believe I heard that you actually, the first person to actually have the book was Swizzy's brother.
Yes, you're correct. Swizzy's brother was the first one. I didn't make him pay for it. There was no payment involved. Money is the last thing I was thinking about. I was thinking about letting him see me keep his brother alive. Keeping his name alive was the main focus of this book, and will always be the main focus on everything I do. On every book, I will keep his name alive every day. And the great thing about that was when he read it, he cried. I never seen that man drop a tear in my life. But that day, when he got that book, he said, yo, he video called me. He's crying. He said, yo, you're something different, man. You're a genius. He said, I don't even know how you did this. I don't even know how you translated him like that. And the way I look at Swizzy is he's the law of the hood. People respect him so much in the hood. He's family to everybody. He was my uncle, but to everybody else, he probably was an uncle to them, a father figure to them, a son to them. You could think 10 different ways. Behind. He had children sitting in, they dad didn't make it home that day. They don't understand that till this day. So my job is to make sure they know your dad was something great. Yeah, he's a king at the end of the day.
He used to always say, Dirty Far Rock.
Yeah, he a Dirty Far Rock nigga. He a Dirty Far Rock nigga. That's his line. That is his line.
And why did you write the poem Funeral? I mean, I love every poem in your book, but why did you write the poem Funeral, though?
Oh, I wrote the poem Funeral because death is so powerful in this world. It has so much more power than you even living, You know how much money you have to pay just to put somebody in the ground? You know how many times I go on Facebook and see a petition for somebody to bury their family member? That hurts that you even have to sit there and ask somebody, oh, can you donate? Can you donate? Why does it cost so much for you to let your person lay to rest sleep? Why does it cost that much? Why don't y'all let us do it? Why don't y'all let our family rest? So that right there was just shining a light on how much death has power in this world. Death is the most powerful thing.
You have tattoos of people that passed that's close to your heart.
Yes, I have 3 tattoos of people that passed that went upstairs. I have Buju. Buju is very close to my heart too. That's one of my big brothers from the streets. I love him to death. He had a horrific situation happen to him. He did not deserve what happened to him. And we will keep his name alive too every day. I have Moreno. Moreno, he lost his life too early,
Your cousin?
Very early, yes. My cousin, he lost his life very too early. He didn't even see the ages that I'm seeing right now. So that hurts me in itself, He would have been smiling if he seen all the stuff that I've done. And I'm younger than him,
Keep celebrating him.
Definitely.
And the inspiration for Mole?
The inspiration for Mole is just telling people that don't be scared to escape this world. Don't be scared to let your mind go into your art first. Because your art could be the only escape you have. Some people don't have no other escape. Some people don't have a room.
A lot of people are immune to the truth and what it entails.
Yeah, some people are, they're probably sleeping on the living room floor right now. They don't got no escape. They can't close a door and say, I don't want to be heard. I don't want to hear nobody right now.
And what are some challenges you find coming with marketing for the book? I mean, I know you have your own publishing company. What are some of the challenges? I know you promote. You're literally working 24 hours and over. What's some of the challenges?
The challenges is really just trying to get your word out there. Get people to understand what you're trying to show. Marketing is so hard. We have a lot of access to, social media and everything, but social media is just a crack of it. You have to build so much. I'm so far from what I want to do. I have so much more things that I have to do to, better my program, better my motivation for the young writers. I have to learn. I'm not perfect in the business world either.
Always room to learn.
Yeah.
And which chapter is the one you hold deepest to you, even though I know the answer? I mean, which one is the one, like...
I Let Swizzy Down is the very most to my heart. It will always be. I don't care if I drop 1,000,000 books. I will always remember that poem because that was dedicated to him, and he is the reason why I'm doing everything that I'm doing.
And you told me previously that he had a conversation with you. He believed in you before you even realized or even believed in yourself.
At all, before I even started writing books. The conversation we had, he told me, he said you should talk to Pain, you should talk to the streets. I only had an essay for school. I thought this was an essay for school. He saw something bigger than that. I just thought I'm thinking on my surroundings. They asked me to write about my surroundings. I'm like, okay. He said, man, this right here spoke to me. And
how long did it take to write the whole story? The actual whole story?
The whole book. We're working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. I had a lot of, I had to juggle a lot. But about 2 years. About 2 years.
And do you consider this your new career? I mean, it's your passion. Is this your new career? Are we going to just, Mo now and then we don't hear from you? Or we're going to keep hearing Legacy's name? Are you going to let that live? Are you going to continue to put more out?
Oh, definitely. I don't think my mother will ever give me the chance to say that I'm not going to write no more. I wake up to my mother telling me where's a new book, and I just dropped a book on June 7th. So,
tough with it.
Yeah, she on my neck,
So are you... I've heard some rumors, Legacy. I'm excited about it, but I've heard some rumors.
What you heard,
so
man?
I gotta ask you.
Oh, man.
I heard you got another book coming.
Oh.
There's another book.
Who's
in this
snitching? Who's snitching?
In this rumor, you gonna come out raw with it. Because, I had a little conversation with your mother, and she told me that she doesn't want no sugarcoating. She doesn't even mind if you curse. Like, this one is the one. Like, this is what I heard. What's the name of this book that you got?
Oh, man.
You're literally about to put out to the world. What's this new book? Can you give me a... What's the name of it?
You got me snitching on myself.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the new book that I'm working on right now is The Journal of a Broken Kid. And this is probably the most rawest book you'll ever read. I'm not holding nothing back,
And the character's name is?
The character's name is Messiah.
Nice. And what's the summary on this? Like, can you give us like a little preview on what you're about to unleash on us? Like, Messiah?
Well, if you read Mo has a poem called "I'ma Call You Right Back," and "I'ma Call You Right Back" is very powerful. It shines a light on the mental of going to jail, the way they break you, the solitary confinement, how it breaks your mind, and how many people have lost their life. Khalif Browder, for example, he lost his life due to his mind being broken, and I want to show them in this next book what landed him in jail, what landed Messiah in jail today, so that's the summary of it. I want to shine a light on him being a kid first, not just being the monster, not just being the menace to society, not saying, oh, the streets are safer now that he's in jail. Jail is not a good place for anybody, you know?
You have family that's actually in jail right now that you hold dear to your heart, correct? I believe.
Yes, definitely.
Diddy.
I have a couple. I have a couple of people that's fighting right now. You know, I have Fly. I have LC. You know, I have a couple other people. Pito. You know, I have so many people that's fighting for their life every day. People,
They're in
jail,
your prayers, of course.
definitely every day. But jail ain't no walk in the park. People think that you go to jail, you have fun, you out here playing basketball. It ain't basketball. I get a phone call from my brother LC every couple of months because every other day he's in the hole fighting for his life. Not because he wants to, because he has to stay alive.
So Legacy, what impact, because this is really important, like what impact do you want Mo to have on the world? What impact? This is literally my last question to you, but I really want to know what impact do you want it to, because you know, you explained to me there's conversations people are just not ready for and they try to hide behind. What impact would you like Mo to have on the world?
I want them to start talking. I want them to start talking about the pain. I want them to start talking about how jail messes with people's minds. People act like jail is a walk in the park. It ain't. People out here losing their lives every day. I heard a conversation one time. I heard they ask you as soon as you go to jail, if you die, where you want your body to go? If you just went to jail, you in jail, and the first thing they ask you is, yo, if you die in here, where you want to go? You want your mama to have you or you want the people to have you? That'll bring a shock through your body. You don't know. Like, death is right around the corner. Death right there. I'm scared. I'm a grown man and I'm scared. You tell a grown man where you want your body to go. I'm only in here for 2 seconds, y'all. I just started. What you mean?
So you basically want the world to know the truth.
Yes, I want to open their eyes. They need to see it. And every book will open up their eyes to something new.
Amen. Legacy, I love your book. I just need you to bring some more. That's all. Keep them coming. Keep them coming, Legacy. It's been a pleasure. I'll be waiting for that new book. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much, Mr. Legacy.
God bless.
So much. Blessings.
Blessings to all.
Amazing young man. Amazing young man, world. You heard that?
I appreciate it. God bless.